We want entrepreneurs to go for the gigatons. And by using the Climate Tech Map platform, they can easily see which are the biggest opportunities. My name is Minsu Deng. I'm a research and modeling manager at Energy Innovation, and I'm really excited about the Climate Tech Map. The Climate Tech Map is a tool that identifies the best technological opportunities to reduce greenhouse gas emissions between now and 2050. One of the key metrics in the Climate Tech Map is what we call the emissions at stake in 2050. These are the total global annual greenhouse gas emissions in 2050 that we could address if we deploy the best available technologies. So what do we mean by emissions at stake? For example, in the transportation sector, we're looking at all of the emissions that come out of our cars, airplanes, and all types of vehicles. We could, for example, pursue vehicle electrification. We make every vehicle electric and have them run on clean electricity. This would tackle all of the emissions at stake in the transportation sector. Another solution, however, would be sustainable fuels. We could generate large volumes of clean, zero-emission fuels and have all of our vehicles run on that. This would also address all of the emissions at stake in the transportation sector. The Climate Tech Map team developed a methodology to calculate these emissions at stake. We started with data from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, also known as the IPCC, which gathers inputs from dozens of research teams from around the world. Each of these teams has modeled an emissions trajectory between now and 2050 that assumes a certain level of policy action and technology adoption. The IPCC database contains thousands of scenarios, and we selected the roughly 50 scenarios that represent emissions trajectories and subsequent global warming under current policies. In this context, current policy means that we've accounted for any existing actions to date by countries to reduce their emissions. From our selected scenarios, we removed any outliers, so any scenarios that had emissions or other outcomes that were very different from the other ones. The final number that we show on the Climate Tech Map website are the average emissions from these scenarios in 2050. We look at the emissions in 2050 because we already have a lot of great technologies that we're deploying now before 2050. For example, in electricity, we have large amounts of solar, wind, and other clean generation technologies that we're deploying really fast and reducing electricity sector emissions. However, by 2050, we're still going to have remaining emissions, and we need to start thinking about the technologies to address those emissions now. We want entrepreneurs to go for the gigatons. And by using the Climate Tech Map platform, they can easily see which are the biggest opportunities. More people want to work on climate change every day, and sometimes it's hard to know where to start to have an impact on this global problem that we're all facing. For me personally, being able to look at data and draw insights from data really helps me focus and provides a sense of purpose. I hope others can use the Climate Tech Map to do the same.